So I may look like I'm happy today and I'm doing well, and it's completely true, and you are right. I'm actually doing good and I'm happy in general, but let me tell you, it's not always been this way, and I have been having some people come to me and ask me more about my story and ask me some personal questions. So I thought this video was actually is going to be made so that I can answer and I can really kind of accept that request in a way that's more for everybody. And so I can make this video instead of making small messages to people, and I can actually make sure that everybody sees this because I want to share a story with you today. And this story is a story of how I went from being a teenager who was very insecure and who didn't even think I could do what I'm doing today, actually working with what I absolutely love and still make an amazing living doing what I love. I never thought that was possible. And I want to take you through a time in my life when I was about 15 to 17, 15, 16, 17, 17, and I was feeling far from happy, far from satisfied with my life, and very, very insecure and depressed. So let's turn back time to give you an idea of who I was back then. So I was 16, 15 when this started, and I remember going to the school, and I remember feeling very overwhelmed because if there's something that's important for you to know about me, especially if you're one of my followers and you're learning Danish, is that I'm a very sensitive man. I'm a very sensitive person, and I can be easily overwhelmed. And maybe you know this feeling where when many things are happening around you, maybe a dog is barking very aggressively, a, a baby is crying here on your left, and someone is screaming right in front of you. It can feel very overwhelming, and I was very much like that when I was 15, 16, and I still am very sensitive in that regard. But even more so back then, and that's also why I want to make this video for you if you're feeling some of these things. So I was feeling very depressed as well. I had anxiety and I was feeling very anxious just walking out, going to school, attending my classes, and even going outside for a bike ride is very normal here in Denmark to bike. As you of course know, we are the biking capital, right, in Copenhagen, and especially all the major cities in Denmark, all the metropolitan cities. But I love biking, and I was very anxious about going out and exercising. I didn't really want to do anything with my life. I was actually very lazy. I didn't want to do anything. I was eating pizza and I was eating junk food every single day. But that also made me very, very depressed because what we eat, and if we don't exercise, we don't take care of ourselves and how we look like, that really reflects on how we feel. It's like holding up a mirror, right? And you can see exactly what you put into your body. It makes you feel very bad if you keep on eating very, very bad food, for example. And I kept doing that for these 2 or 3 years, and I was feeling my absolute lowest in life. So low that I can't really even remember a time I feel even more low than that. So that was the lowest point of my life so far. And it's just to say that I want to really, really kind of like acknowledge and accept this request um, that you have to me in terms of actually making a video talking about a time in my life where um, sharing a personal story is mostly what you've been asking me about. So here it comes, and it's really something that is a period in my life that has become a very, very game changing time for me. And it's just to say with this video that I want you to know that if you are going through some hardships in your life, you're going through some difficult times, it's just to say that it's definitely possible for you to get better, okay? So let me share even more about how I actually did that and how I turned my life 180 degrees around for the better. So I began when I was at my lowest point. I actually remember a day where I felt completely hopeless. I didn't have any hope. I was very, very, very sad, right? And I see this tree. I see this tree in front of me, and I see this light streaming down like a silver lining, when the sky permits the light to penetrate through or go through. And so the entire tree was very, very impressive. It was completely lit up by this ray of sunlight, okay? And I remember feeling a moment of silence that I really needed. And then I actually from there felt like, okay, there was something that I had to do. I really had to turn my life around. And that was kind of like the turning point. That experience, I didn't know where it came from. But I think for you, that experience may just be this video. At least I really hope so, because what I also did after that, and let this be the takeaway of this video, I changed how I ate. I began to eat more healthy. I began to eat more salads. I began to eat more pasta and chicken. I began to eat more healthy just in general. And I began to exercise more. I remember going for a little 10-minute walk, or maybe 10-15-minute walk every single day. And I talk a lot about how small habits, they add up in the end. There's even a book that talks about how some of the biggest and some of the most successful British cyclists, they actually became world champions because they made small, 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 small incremental improvements every single day. And that's why I always talk about this, because that's how I completely changed my life for the better as well. So I began to exercise every single day, 10, 15 minutes. I would feel so anxious. Like I would shake sometimes. And I hope it's not too it's too much, because I'm trying to be honest and trying to help you. But I was shaking sometimes, and I realized that the more I exercised, the more I was working with meditation, the more I was focusing on my goals of getting better and actually getting a job, for example, and passing my exams, and getting to work with what I love, and all these things, well, the more I actually saw my life improve. So this is not just a video for me to talk about my story and you to get an insight that you are requesting on Instagram, at least many of you, but it's also to give you a little extra um, motivation and say that you can absolutely get better. And I like to think that if I can even help one person, even with personal stuff like this, that reflects who I am in Danish with Sebastian, this is who I am. We need more human connection, and this is all about language learning. It's human connection. You cannot connect with a human if you don't speak the same language, at least not really that deep anyway. It's the same here. I am trying to help you in other areas that is going to help you in your life. And this is a story from when I was about 16 to 18. When I was 18, I got more confidence because I began going to the gym, and I began running, I began cycling, biking, and I began really taking care of my style. I began showering. I didn't even shower actually. I wonder why I was feeling very bad and had low confidence. So it's just to say, the takeaway of this video is to now you have an idea of who Sebastian is, who I am, what made me who I am today, and why I do some of these things I do in Danish with Sebastian, such as these small 1% incremental wins that stacks up in over time and makes you very successful. But it's also for you to get some encouragement from me, because I want to pat you on the shoulder and say, good job on actually watching this video till the end. And this just shows me that you can absolutely change your life, and you can absolutely live your dream life. You can get your dream job. If you want to learn Danish and get your dream job, if you can get your dream job right now, I would love to see if I can help you on my course right now. We have 3 spots left, and they are being taken very quickly. So it's just to say that you can do it, and let me know what the best part of this video was in the comments. What was the best thing that you got from watching this video? Let me hear what you feel.